38 points in the first quarter tonight and then didn't get above 25 in the remaining three. What was different about what was working offensively and what wasn't the later parts of this game?
We played into, what they gave us. It wasn't our best executed fourth quarter. Turnovers, myself, DG, we got to be better. And then on the other side, we missed some open looks. I think the biggest thing, we just didn't execute late the right way, like we have been. And I always tell you, I'm not going to be perfect. This is one of those nights where we kind of fell into it, myself included. And, we'll just be better. I think it's just one of those nights where we just didn't execute, as a whole, on both ends. The one I'm thinking about is the coverage where, they went and slipped it off of Ben Carroll. He hits the three to tie it up, like little things like that. And, like I said, you're not going to be perfect throughout the season. We've typically been really, really good, so this is something to be good for film and learn and get better at.
Did you think the shot quality was where it needed to be?
No, I think but you got to give them credit. They were physical. We missed some shots. We only made 10 of them. But some of the looks we got were open, we just missed. But also some of it was self-inflicted, so that's what the film is for. We'll go back and we'll be better, and nothing to hang our heads about at all. Just know we can play better, and we will.
Donovan, the 12 turnovers in the second half, how much of that was them applying pressure, and how much of it was maybe you guys, not taking care of the basketball the way you expected?
It's both. I think, myself and Ty get those three in a row to end right around the end of the third, and then you're playing uphill battle, like, giving them life and juice, and give them credit, but also, we, like I said, self-inflicted stuff, and it's not who we've been, and nothing to overreact to or freak out about. Like, we'll be better. We have no doubt. We saw it, like I said, we executed, and then they made a run. Like, you got to give them credit, man, but at the end of the day, we know we'll be better, and we've been better, we'll just be better.
To your credit, you guys have been two of the best clutch players in the league this season, but for the fourth quarter, it felt like you guys might have been forcing some shots to get them stuff going and create offense. Do you feel like that's what happened?
Yeah, force is tough. I think just trying to make plays, and when the shots don't go in, they feel worse. But I think there's some better decisions that could have been made on both of our parts for sure. Whether it's driving or kicking or shot faking, like little things. And like I said, we've been good, and this is one of those nights that you look back at on film and get better looks. I think there are a few things that DG and I can clean up, actions we can clean up as a unit, and we will, man. This is I think it's one of those things where I'm careful when I say this. I don't want to say like I'm grateful, but these are the moments you learn from. These are you have these fourth quarters, and okay, how do we fix it and improve? Because we may see these guys in the playoffs, so understanding that and being better.
Kind of off of that, is there a benefit to the timing of this and going on that trip and wrapping up the regular season?
You always want to learn through a win. I'm never going to say I'm glad we lost. What I'm saying? But at the end of the day, too, like, this is something that we've been really good at, and we haven't much struggle with it, and now it's something for us to work on. They were physical. How do we fight through that? How do we execute different things? What are we looking for? And it's just one of those things where you just, like I said, you just on the film, and just figure it out. And like I've been saying, there's really nothing to freak out about. We'll be better. I'll be better, and we'll go from there.
Because over the last month, you guys have been so successful in late game execution, and tonight was just a blunder. When you talk about being able to apply what you've learned in those situations, how does that help? And also learning from this, but also understanding that there's just so much more in this season for you guys, and this isn't the end goal, it's playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's just one of the things you can't hang your head about this one. You can't be upset. We all didn't shoot well. Got to give Jay a big shout, though, big time. He was big time for us, especially throughout the entire night. But as a group, we just didn't make shots, and then at the end of the fourth quarter, myself especially, and DG, we got to be better taking care of the ball, and then defensively, that blown coverage really hurts us. That's just one moment that I can think about right now, but this is part of it, man. This is all part of it as a collective. We learn from this and get better.
Jared, he had a strong game, but only had 2 shots in the fourth quarter. Is there anything that you guys could have done to help him get more involved in the offense?
I think, like I said, they did a good job of presenting themselves and then taking that away. And then when we did hit them, they're collapsing, so then he has to make that play out. So, like I said, you gotta give them credit. It's a fine balance. You make the pass, and they all do their job, and then they all rotate back out. So I give Orlando their credit. And for him to only have 2 shots but still be a menace on the boards is credit to him. He's always been like that, but As far as that goes, you give Orlando credit. They did a lot of, good things defensively to do both in a sense.
Does this illustrate how important Evan Mobley is to this team?
1,000%. But I've been trying to tell you that from the beginning of the year. Hopefully, figure that out. But like I said, this is a game where obviously he would help big time, but we also got to hold ourselves accountable because we should have won this game. And that's on us. But maybe one day y'all believe me when I say Evan Mobley is who he is.
You mentioned the missed open looks. People, there's this idea that the more threes you shoot, you introduce like an element of randomness to the game a little bit. What's the relationship between 3-point shooting and the
I love them. Take them. It worked so far. And I think it's just continuing to take the looks we're given. In nights like that, we don't make threes. We got to be better defensively or take care of the ball when we get into the paint. I love the looks we get. We can. It's really just a turnover. That's really it. The threes we take, we make, and we know who we can be. But then also, if we don't make threes defensively, we got to be better, and we will.
As you go down the stretch here and you get ready for the playoffs and get into that mentality, what can a game like tonight do for you guys? Being able to sit in a film room and pick apart like the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds of a game and, go through the different sets and things like that.
Yeah, I think it allows you to see in real time. I think March has been a hell of a schedule, so it hasn't been a lot of time for us to kind of get these nights in, And you always want to win a game, but a night like tonight allows you to, night like this, allows you to kind of do those different things. And I have no doubt we'll respond. I have no doubt that we'll figure it out. And if it's not LA, it's the next game. We've shown that we have the maturity as a group. And Kenny will hold us all accountable. We'll hold ourselves accountable. So this is just something that you just, like I said, just look at and get better. That's really it.
Last one.
say make or miss the league? People say that a lot about this league. How much of today came down to you guys had your second worst 3-point shooting game of the day and they had their fourth best?
Yeah, that's the name of the game. We had some good looks, but give them credit. I'm not going to take away from that fact, but both teams didn't really shoot the greatest. But they executed and we didn't, and that's on us.